Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Michalek, and I am the co-founder of Plum Analytics. We're a young company founded about a year and a half ago with Mike Bushman. The two of us, prior to founding Plum, worked for ProQuest Serial Solutions and headed up technology. I headed up technology. He headed up product for the Summon Discovery Service. And so we left there and are pursuing this big idea of there's all of this scholarly data that's available out there, and as Judy went through the different categories of that. And our product tracks all 5 of these, and traditionally the bottom 3 there are what people think of as alt metrics. The captures of people saving that work for later, mentions when they mention it in a blog post or comment on it, and social media, all the, love it or hate it, all that social media metrics that you can gather, the +1s, the tweets, the comments, the likes. So our product, PlumX, is what we use to showcase the research outputs and the related impact across an entire group. So this is PlumX/Smithsonian. So this is a searchable directory of all of the Smithsonian's output that they've tracked here. It's organized by person, then up from person, department, and then for them, museums, and then across it as a whole. So you have quick and easy artifact summaries up there in the blue that tell you all of the different types of data that we track. And it's more than just articles. That's why we call them artifacts. So data sets, figures, et cetera. And as you kind of scroll through that, you can see metrics summarized across those 5 categories. You can also see the metrics summarized down in the bottom. We quantify them and allow users to drill in and navigate into them. It's a search product, so metrics are integrated in the search results. So as someone hovers over the different items in the search result page, they can see the metrics associated with each artifact. Each author has their own profile. So this is Anthony Williams. He's not affiliated with the Smithsonian, but he's a very active researcher. He has profiles in a bunch of different areas, one of which in there is impact story, which Jason is tracking. And what you can see for Tony here is I've scrolled the usage to be seeing here are the top 5 places. All of his 489 artifacts we're tracking. Where are the top places he has usage? And you can kind of drill in through that. Of course, there's metrics all the way down at the artifact level. So article level metrics, they're kind of that atomic unit for pretty much all of our services, I suppose. And in Plum, we break those down into, again, those same 5 categories. And each link is live, so you can go back to where the data came from. One of the interesting problems that we've addressed is the fact when someone's looking at a piece of research output, they really want to see it across everywhere that it's published. So this is, quote unquote, the same article. One on PLOS, it's also on PubMed Central, and it's in an institutional repository at the University of Pittsburgh. The metrics should be combined together when you're really looking at the use of this particular article. So in this example, we gathered, this is for an article, and we can see that Bitly's a link shortener, and so 59 times this article was the link to PLOS was shortened, and another times the actual DOI link was used. The delicious people are bookmarking it on different URLs as well, and when you look across all of the different metrics, you want to be able to capture all versions of that, and this is something that we've worked hard to make that happen and give that view. A quick example of a researcher who blogs. So this is a Smithsonian researcher who wrote a paper in 2012, published in Nature. And beyond that, he's an active blogger. So he blogs about his work. So for this paper, he gives that extra details of, why was it significant? What does it cover? What does it not cover? And traditionally, you wouldn't get credit for any of this. Extra blogging. He was, crossed over into the popular press, Discover Magazine's top 100 scientific breakthroughs of 2012. And what we can do is not just track the article level metrics about the Nature paper, which we do, but those second level metrics. So gathering those same types of categories around the New York Times article that was written, the BBC article, other popular bloggers. So when he's kind of representing the full impact of his work, he has all of these metrics, not just around the primary paper, but around all of the other activities around that. So this was a snapshot taken shortly after the publication came out on Nature, and you can see the citation counts haven't caught up yet. So Scopus has a cited by count of 2. Web of Science doesn't track it at this point, but you can get a sense as to the velocity of what's happening around this paper. And so a lot of what these other metrics beyond citation counts give you is that measure of velocity. And so the counts are hard to know, well, what do these mean? The way we try to give these context is by comparing them to other cohorts. So this is real data that I anonymized to protect the innocent here. It's a particular lab. And this lab, we've looked at the data across all 5 categories, researcher by researcher. So you can see the orange researcher, researcher M, has high usage, but not a lot of captures, mentions, et cetera. The users in blue and green here, they have a very different pattern. So that researcher in orange might be able to learn, what could I do better to get beyond usage, or maybe it's just an early indicator. But these kinds of comparison views are what we're, and visualizations are one of the things that come in our platform. Another visualization is a sunburst visualization that you can look at an author or any particular grouping. So this can be for a set of publications, it can be for a set of authors, for a lab. And weighting by impact, certain slices of the pie get bigger and others fade away. And you can really see when you're looking at the full body of work what stands out versus everything else and get a sense of how to drill into that data. Lastly, we have group and author widgets that can be embedded. So they can be embedded in institutional repositories and publications. So we have the article level metrics that can be embedded, but also these group and user profiles. And so that gives a way to kind of have a landing point to see all of the different metrics that Plum gathers. And that's it.